ready to learn with us on Bass University Live. Bass University Live starts now. Welcome to Bass University Live. Man, welcome to the show. It's winter time all over the country. We're getting a little ice up here, but water's open in a lot of places, and people are out fishing, and I love it. It's a holiday season, and Riz, oh my God, did I get a Christmas wish list from Junior?
Oh man,
yeah, I don't think
Back to warehouse. Bye.
TW all over it.
Yeah.
Got a new Phoenix boat on the wish list too. He's not shy this year.
Yeah.
Riz. He's like,
let's boost the industry, Pete. Let's go. Let's add some fuel to the fire.
I believe my son is keeping this industry going. There's no doubt. But we got another young man, a special young man coming on the show today, Fisher Anaya, who is crushing it. Qualified for the elites, won his spot in the Bassmaster Classic at the Bassmaster Team Championship just recently down on Lake Hartwell. So we're looking forward to talking to him and how he fast tracked his learning process and really just light it up in a heavy field of competition in the EQs. Led the pack. It's pretty spectacular. So we're looking forward to that.
Yep.
And guys, we are coming to Anderson, South Carolina. You need to get over to bassu.tv and get yourself some tickets for Anderson, South Carolina, and Athens, Texas.
Yep.
We're gonna have a lot of fun as always at our events this year. If you've been, you know what it's like. We've got a casting competition going on. Rob Jordan's going to be joining us, the blueback herring specialist. He's going to be doing some lure modification demos and have some stuff available here, some custom stuff that you're just not going to believe at Anderson. So go check that out. Of course, we're going to be at the Texas Freshwater Fishery Center, where you can get a look at 10-pound bass. Right there in the Freshwater Fishery Center, along with some of the greatest speakers on the planet. Riz, you put together quite a list for us this year.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, Pete. It's always fun, getting to dive inside of the minds of the best fishermen on the planet. So it's fun, and we got one of those up and comers here with us today, Pete. And all I can say is this young man has been nothing short of impressive in his tenure on the water and off the water. So,
Well, let's say hello. Let's meet this young man from Alabama who has set the EQs on fire. Fisher Anaya. Good morning, buddy. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
Well, you've earned that. I mean, you're just unbelievable. I don't appreciate you putting the beat down on all of us so hard down there at Lake Hartwell recently. But other than that, it's been a spectacular road. I was looking at the opens and the EQs, and you just absolutely lit it up. You checked in virtually every event. You may have checked in every event, and just came through there into the EQs and won the points. Congratulations, man. That's freaking amazing.
I appreciate it, dude. It was just one of those years, like it feels like every move you made it couldn't be wrong. Even when it felt wrong, it wasn't wrong. And I don't know how to explain it, but like I'd be running down the lake, just be like, dang, that over there looks good. I'm going to go try it. And I ain't never fished this place a day in my life and pull over there, and that's where I catch all my weight in.
Wow.
And it's crazy how it all works and lines out.
Well, it's like a freight train, but in a tournament, I always said winning's like a freight train, you can't stop it. It just kind of, like you said, it happens, and you just kind of You just got to kind of not try not to screw it up and just let it happen. But it seemed like it happened all season for you, this year.
It was definitely just a crazy year. Like I couldn't explain it. Like I have these legs I've never seen in my life, and when I show up, it's just like first day of practice, I find something. I'm like, well, there's the fish to survive the tournament, and then every single time they just wouldn't go nowhere. And it's like when it's your time to have a good year and qualify, there's nothing that's going to stop it. It's going to happen. If it wasn't my time, I wouldn't have made it. And I guess the good Lord said it's your time to make the elite. So go have at it.
Man, well, we're gonna dive into it a little bit. I just got off the phone we have a friend in common, Goob from the neighborhood down there,
Not
from
good.
Black Market Outdoors. Me and Goob go back a long way. So do you.
Hey, that's the man. That man right there gets you anything you ever need.
That's a fact. And
Goob.
he's a great guy, and he speaks extremely highly of you and your family. And he spent a lot of time. You guys have spent a lot of time together, and that's awesome. And Goob's an aficionado. He's a fish head like the rest of us. I'm amazed. You're 20 years old. How did this happen? Take me. You grew up fishing around your father, I'm imagining, and man, how did you get to the level that you're at right now?
It's definitely gonna be my dad. He's pushed me and kept me on a straight line, made sure I didn't get off track or anything like that. Like I'm not the type of kid to go out and want to go to a party, go get drunk, go do anything like that. I'm always the one that's like I want to get up at 4 a.m, drive 3 hours to a lake I haven't fished, and break down a new lake in one day. That's how I've always been. And ever since I was young, probably in the 7th grade, we got my first boat, and me and Dad would go fishing, and I always wanted to go to Gunnersville. That was the best lake around here, so that's where I wanted to go fish. And he would force me to, we would go to Neely Henry, we would go to Weiss, we would go to all these lakes around here to see different things. And at the end of the day, it actually helped out because my high school resume was crazy good around here. And it was because we drove around each weekend and fished a different lake around here that the high school tournaments go to.
You live in an amazing part of the country to do that, and that's fantastic. Like you have the whole Tennessee River that's pretty close. Are you in Coleman? Is that where you live?
I'm about probably 20 minutes from Smith at Coleman on the park side, and then 30 minutes to Browns Creek at Gunnersville, 30 minutes to Decatur at Ingalls, hour and probably half from Pickwick, somewhere in that range.
It's like all not all of them, some of the greatest bodies of water on the planet, and certainly the bodies of water that a lot of the big tournaments go to are all within a close drive of where you grew up. So that's that's got to help a lot, getting exposed to how these fish move on these Tennessee River lakes and the highland reservoirs like Martin or Smith. That had to help a lot, getting that exposure with your dad.
Yeah, it helps a ton. And also I would say right here in this general area it's probably got some of the best anglers in the world. That's not pro, that's gonna fish like Toyotas. Our Central Division and the Toyotas are stacked. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you win one of those, you earned it. And I really think that made me get better at finding fish not everybody else is going to find, because back in the day, you could pull up to a point and find some fish. It wasn't that complicated. But now, with the type of guys that's in that, you got to find something off the wall if you want to win. Something that's not really on a map. Maybe it's just a hole in the grass, a high spot where the current's washing shale in and it made a little high spot in the grass. Something different. And having the competition I have around here in Alabama, I think really helped me at a young age to get ready for the Open, so I didn't spin myself out when I got there.
Yeah, that's man. That sounds like a lot of time to find those kinds of places, right? I'm imagining, a lot of practice time, because you like you said, you're fishing against some of the most talented guys around. They all are studs down in that part of the country. You're fishing 12 months a year, most of them, and you're able to rise to the top on a really talented field. Is it time on the water, like you said, that really makes the difference?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you got to think like we're 20. I'm 20 years old. Most of the kids that's making it this year are probably below 24, 25. Most of them don't have a wife. Most of them don't have kids, and they probably don't honestly have a house payment. So it's we don't have no like stress that if I go to this tournament and I don't get a check, I got to go home with $0 to my name and find a way to feed my kid. We get to go fish. If we don't get a check, it's so be it. We'll come home, get ready, and go to the next one. And there's no stress on us to like having to pay bills and whatnot. And when we are home, we can go fish every single day, and we ain't got to worry about nothing. So in the long run, it betters you, but right there in that short period of time, if you don't have that, it can be very hard to make it.
I've seen that. I have all those things. The kids, the mortgage, the the business. I got all those things that you're talking about. But it's and I get it. Like I saw it. We were down at the Insane tournament. I went down there with my son, and the college kids are fishing 5 to 7 days a week, and it's really helping them just level up, just like you said. And that's are you fishing that much? How many days a year are you fishing?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Like I went high school. In my high school days, I actually did online school so I could fish every day. And I mean, I would fish 6, 7 days a week.
Wow.
And every day, if it didn't matter if it was snow and I was fishing, I was gonna make sure I could handle the cold. I was gonna go fish in it. So when I did have a tournament in the cold, I wasn't just miserable. Like I made sure to try to fish in every different weather conditions you could ever fish in just to get myself ready because I mean you never know what the weather's gonna do when you're fishing. I mean, we've had some of the craziest weather this year on the opens you could ever imagine.
What was the worst? Did you have some hurricanes come in? What'd you deal with?
Oh, we for Sam Rayburn got to fish one day, wind blew about 50 the other 2 days, and then Norfolk, we got there, everything was great. And first day of practice was good. Second day, water rose like 2 foot. Third day, water rose like 5 foot. By the tournament, it was 8 foot high. And the second day of the tournament, it was 20 foot high.
Whoa.
So, I mean, it was unreal. Like we rode back to the ramp where we put in at, and literally where we was dumping the boats in was under the water.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's amazing. I've seen that at Smith.
weird.
We fished Smith Lake one time where in a FLW MLF tournament, I guess, and the water came up like unbelievable amount in overnight. So here's the deal, right? We're veterans, though. I've seen that before. You're 20 years old. You're not supposed to be able to adjust that quick to these changing conditions, Fisher. That's how you managing to pull that off. I guess you already said it by just putting so much time on the water.
Yeah, and Smith is really a good lake to understand when the water comes up where fish should go because the fish at Smith Highland Reservoir, they follow the water. So, like, if that water rises 12 foot, those fish go to the bank and they nose up to the bank. I mean, if you can find a little bit dirty water, you can catch them cranking, and that's how you're going to catch a big bag. I honestly don't think you can win a tournament on Smith, a one-day tournament, scoping them in 100 foot on fish swimming in timber. It's just not going to happen. So I would rather the water rise up super high if I had a big tournament there because I mean that used to be the time me and Dad would go. It was probably about the same time it rose with y'all. He had an ABT. It rose like 20 foot. It was in the parking lots.
Whoa!
And you had to wade in the water knee deep at the dam through the parking lot, and we would go get back in like. It looked like we was duck hunting back in the timber. Like I'm talking about, you couldn't see the lake, and you'd just be throwing a buzz bait by like oak trees and pine trees, and they'd be smoking.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
That's very cool. Well, it is impressive. You know how you were able to make those adjustments in all those rough conditions. And you're talking about some stuff that's pretty cool: buzzbait fishing, shallow water fishing. Goob says you are a scope master, extreme. Is that your forte? Are you a shallow guy, or what are you good at?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I try to make myself well rounded. I mean, that's the main thing, but you have to be better at scope than you do just shallow water power fishing nowadays. Just because the tournaments that do allow it, it's a 1% chance you're going to outcatch someone that's scoping if you're flipping. It's just your odds are real low, and I'm not saying it can't be done because it can be. Your just odds are low. So I've spent more time this year scoping than I have just normal old school power fishing. So I mean, I'm gonna have to say I'm better at scope. I mean, I've got a lot of confidence in myself when it comes to scoping that I can scope with some of the best out there. I wouldn't say I'm top tier or nothing, but I'm gonna say I think I can compete.
Well, I would say your results say that you can, because you're going, get through those EQs, man. You're going up against a bunch of guys that can get it done in that regard. What are some keys to your success? Are you is the brand you're using, or the settings that you're using, or what are your keys?
Man, I really don't have none. That's a lot of people ask me, what's your secrets? And I really don't have no secrets. I try to fish and catch fish that don't get scoped 24/7. So I'm going to try to find fish that you can't hardly see, that if you don't see them, they bite a lot easier. That's how they are. I don't understand why. It's like they know you can't see them. So that's when they bite easier. Like a floater, they've got really smart. And I'm not like, there's many lakes around here. G is one of them. If they're floating, you better catch floaters, because you're not going to beat the guys that's catching them. But like ABT this year, I caught my fish I think it was like 5 foot, scoping holes in the grass, and they were spawning.
Nice.
And you couldn't see them there. You had no idea they was there, but when you pulled your minnow over the hole, you would see her look up on the bottom and then go right back down.
On a given tournament day, or just a fishing day, Fisher, lay it to me somehow in like percentages. Are you seeing, and we'll start at baseline, call it 50-50. 50% you're seeing the fish, 50% you're just seeing the cover and saying, man, there's probably a fish there, and throwing at it. Where do you fall? Where does it fall, generally speaking, in that? Like, are you seeing fish more, or are you seeing habitat more? Because you said the ones that you don't see bite, and I follow you there. So, like, how often are you throwing at the ones you don't see, but you think they should be in that spot?
I mean, I would probably give it 50-50, just cut it straight down the middle. I mean, I'm going to go down through there, and if I see something on the bottom that just remotely looks good, I'm going to throw at it. I'm not the type of person to just troll around until I see a fish. I mean, if I'm going down a bank scoping and I look out there and there's a brush pile of 10 foot, I'm going to throw something out there, shake it over the top of it. Nothing comes out. I'm going to go down the bank fishing, then I'm going to see a stump. I'm going to throw on it, a rock, etc. So, I mean, it's kind of a hit or miss game throwing on the stuff you don't see the fish on, because you have no idea if they're going to be there.
Right. But high reward.
I mean, yeah, but you could probably do a 70% going to throw if you're going to see one, and a 40-ish if you're not seeing them, somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a crazy different amount, but it's something that I have that's bailed me out, throwing on stuff you don't see fish on. And in Kentucky Lakes, one of the key factors with that is, dude, I've never seen a bass on scope at Kentucky Lake before I caught him. But I fish totally different than everybody else does at Kentucky Lake. I use my 360 a ton, and last year I was using my 360 and finding stumps that was about this long, laid on the bottom and 10 foot. You couldn't see them on like normal scope because they were so little, but they were little logs down there, and they were probably 8 foot, and every one of them had 2 over 4 on it. Every single one you found.
Wow.
And you would never see them, not a day in your life. Even if you trolled over them, you'd never see them. You got to and it would take you 20 casts to make the right line to pull them up.
No kidding. Why did you couldn't see them on forward because they were so tight to the bottom?
Yeah, I think they were like literally glued up against the log down there on the bottom. And how you can hide a 5-pound smallmouth on the bottom, I have no idea. But the smallmouth they're the ones that do it the most. The largemouth, he'll just kind of sit up high. You can see him. A smallmouth, they hardly ever do. You got to pull them up.
It's like a smallmouth on a bed on Champlain when they're making those beds out in 20 on the boulders.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the fish. You throw, your stuff starts going, and all of a sudden they start rising. That's a
Cool.
really, really interesting observation. I don't know if, I gave you the right fuel with the trying to put a baseline at 50-50, but you answered the question. You certainly answered the question. And I think a lot of people, myself included, get caught up on I need to see fish to be scoping. And that's not necessarily the case. And you did a really nice job laying that out, that sometimes just throwing at high percentage habitat can put fish in the boat. And was there, I'm sorry, Pete, I told you I was only going to go so long before I would derail us, but was there a little bit of that going on for you at Hartwell, Fisher?
The words were just about to come out of my mouth, Rich, because all those fish at Hartwell would look and not touch. They were the most educated fish I ever seen in my life.
Hartwell's interesting. I caught fish that I don't think no one else found is really the reason they bit. I mean, and it wasn't easy. Like, it looks great on paper, but the first day I caught 6 bass, second day I caught 7 bass, third day I caught 5, and the last day I caught probably 12.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't just no crazy whack fest, but when I caught one, it was a 3.5, 4-pounder. And the first 2 days of the tournament, I should have had over 22 2 days in a row, and I couldn't keep them hooked up. They just kept coming off. And I mean, I'd see every one of them. I mean, hook them up, have them come and get them 5 foot from the net, and they just pull off. Like, I don't know what the deal was, but I caught most of my fish on a Nico that week, catching them anywhere from 8 to 10, and the back is like sandy little drains.
Sandy little drains. Okay. That was my next question, because go ahead. We explain the sandy little drains.
It was just kind of short drains. Like, it wasn't 50 yards long on the main lake, and every one of them would have, if you would look at the bank, it'd be rock, and then when you got behind the drain, it'd be sand.
Yeah.
They just set up right there, and you could pull up in there, take a Nico and throw it out there to them. And it wasn't just cast to catch, but you could run enough of them. If you got enough bites, you could catch largemouth, and that's the main reason I did it.
Wow. Well, it was well done. And as soon as that tournament was over, of course, my son is buying the Nico that you were using in that tournament. So we're well equipped. But I think I was reading like you were struggling on the last day. I was really bummed that was not televised. I thought the finals were going to be televised. I was shocked. I mean, we couldn't follow you.
Yeah, it was a grind. I'm glad it wasn't televised. No one could see where I was at. But it was definitely a weird day. Like, I run down and I started in an area that I found some really big ones swimming in the first day of the fish off, and I pull up in there first day, and I can see them. They're just swimming everywhere. They're 4 or 5 pounders everywhere, and I'm like, all right, I can make this work. I left and I started in there the next morning. I caught 1 3-pounder and a rat, and dude, I bet it was. I mean, that was the first stop on like my first 2 casts, and I bet I went 3 hours before I caught another one, maybe 4.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, after you run through a stretch you caught 19.5 pounds off of and you don't catch nothing, you start scratching your head. Like, I was kind of I was sitting there like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, let's go check some spots. Let's just catch a limit. I went out and fished some like herring style stuff, caught a limit of spots for 12 pounds. And then, I got this weary feeling like I've been looking at this pocket all week and I ain't fished it not once. I overlooked it in practice. I fished both the pockets next to it, one on the left side and one on the right side, and they both had fish in them. And I went over there and I checked my 2 pockets. The one I haven't checked, I skipped it, and none of the fish were in those pockets. And I was like, I ain't been in this pocket. I'm just going to go in here and look around. I go in the pocket, and I swear to you, dude, it was 4-pounder after 4-pounder swimming everywhere. I don't know where they came from. They just pulled up in this pocket, and there was big groups of 20 of them, and you could throw out there, and they'd catch it before it went to the bottom.
Wow.
And it was clockwork. I mean, it was every one of them I threw at was biting, and I had 19 whatever, and I had 10 minutes to get in, and I see this big one swimming, and my marshal was back there watching scope. He's like, "Is that her?" I was like, "If I catch her, I make the classic." And I threw out there, my Nico was sinking, and it got to her blob, and then it never went past her. I said, "Well, she got it. I just got to land her now."
Oh, nice. Nice. And you did.
So
Oh, I
you,
caught her.
so Fisher, you said something there that was interesting, that there was some emphasis on sand in those pockets. And on a lake like Hartwell, traditional thinking for that time of year, or my thinking anyway, based on research, was that we needed to be focused on rock. Do you think that fishing pressure has had some effect on those fish to where they're getting fished for so much on rock and they moved to sand because of that effect? Or was there something else going on there that had them more relating to sand?
Man, it's really hard to say because I went pre-practice. I pre-practiced 4 days up there, and I caught them off rock. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they was on rock, and I mean, I could catch them fairly easy. Like, it was 20 pounds a day. It wasn't hard. And I was like, all right, well, I can win the tournament doing this. And the first day of practice, I ran rock, and it wasn't nothing happening.
Right.
And then I kind of adjusted to the sand. The only difference with the rock and the sand was, like, when I would find them on rock, I would find a mega school of them. Like, I could find 20, 30 sitting on these clusters and rock piles and whatnot. When you found them on sand, there was like 3 or 4. But the average fish on sand was like a 3 3/4. So it kind of, your odds were good. Just like, if I run this all day, I catch 5, I'm going to have 17, 18 pounds. Might as well do that and just swing for the fence. But
how much
I don't
do you, did when you were there to pre-practice, Fisher, was the lake level the same?
I think it was fairly close. I don't think it got dropped too much farther. It might have got dropped another foot or 2.
Okay. I gotcha. I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. And one of the things that was coming to my mind is that, I mean, the lake was, what would you call it while we were there? 6 foot low, something in that range?
Probably. Might have been a little more.
Do you think some of the reason that some of those bigger fish were going to sand was because, honestly, there was a lot of places that, like, the rock seemed to stop right at the water level. So, like, there wasn't that much of it. So, like, the places that there was rock, it had these schools of, like you said, 20 and 30 fish. And we saw that same thing. But boy, they were not that big, and they were smart. They were smart. So do you think that could be part of the reason that the bigger ones were kind of just not messing with that stuff? Is the competition factor, or what?
It very well could have, and pressure could have moved them off of it. And I mean, I couldn't tell you why they were on what they was on, because it made no sense to me, because it was nothing. Like, that was the key thing. It was nothing. So, I mean, you would pull into just those little drains, and they'd just be sitting dead slap at the bottom of it. They look like rocks down there on the bottom. And I guess the sand run from the bank all the way down to the butt end of the drain. And I don't know if sand holds heat, but I was thinking sand might hold heat. And that's why they was sitting so close to the bottom on it, just sitting in the bottom of them drains.
Interesting. I know, just to, pile on to us missing it, Rich, but Emil Wagner, who gives a great seasonal spotted bass seminar for us at Bass University, talks about sand and how the big ones get on the sand in the wintertime at times, right? They're going to be on rock or sand. So you certainly found what he's talking about. And I'm bummed, because I was looking all over for that and I couldn't find it. But let me ask you, the depth zone, were these fish, deeper than 10? Were they shallower than 10? How deep were you fishing?
Most of them were 10 to 15, 10 to 12, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That wasn't crazy deep, but
yeah.
I
had heard they get even shallower than that in the winter, and guys crush them in less than 5 at times.
It will happen. I looked for it a little bit. I found one pocket that had some really shallow ones in. I could see with my eyeballs. They were just super hard to catch. Like, couldn't hardly trick none of them. And I think I ended up tricking one out of the 4 days we was there, but it was a 4-pounder, so it was worth going in there and tricking her. But they will get super shallow. I just kind of stayed in that 8 to 12 foot zone because I think they bit a little easier for me. When they got super shallow, I just felt like they could see too good.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Did the part of the lake matter? Were you fishing like lowered by the dam, upper river arms, or where? What was the key on the winning fish?
I fished all over in practice off. I mean, from the bottom end at the dam all the way up. The highest I fished was right there at Green Pond. So from there to the dam, I went in every creek arm, every point you could ever imagine. And I caught most of my fish the first 3 days down towards the dam. And then the last day I actually caught a lot of my fish up towards the Green Pond.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fish, how many times a day were you pulling up the trolling motor?
A bunch. I mean, I was probably running. I mean, I guarantee I was running 80 waypoints in a day.
Yeah.
Just pull up, put the trolling motor down, troll around, don't see them, pick it up, go to the next spot, put it down. Because each day they move. One day they'd be in this drain, you'd pull in, catch them, and you go back and start there, and they wouldn't be there, and they'd be 4 drains over.
Yep.
Right.
It's just crazy how much them fish move.
Yeah, it is crazy because we think about wintertime fishing and it was cold. I mean, you think, man, these fish, we've always taught and learned that, man, once they get in, they don't move less as the water temperature gets cold. But nah, definitely not. They're going to follow that bait wherever it goes.
Yeah, I honestly think they move more the colder it gets. I mean, that's something I've had to learn. I mean, summertime, you go fish Goner'sville in the summertime, dude, they'll sit still for 5-6 months. They won't go nowhere.
Yeah.
And wintertime, that ain't happening. Like, you might find one on this section here, and you go back 2 weeks later, and there ain't a bass on it, and you go back the next day, and there's 100 pounds on it. I mean, you don't ever know.
Right.
For anybody that's listening to this show right now or watching whatever podcast, pay attention to something here that Fisher just made a great tie-in with. At the beginning of this interview, Fish, you talked about fishing in the elements and being versed to fishing in the cold, the rain, all that. That is a serious thing that on the first day of practice, when you put your boat in the water, your head was in a different place than someone like mine, for example, being that I live in the Northeast. I live in Maryland on the Chesapeake Bay. When I launched the boat in the morning and it was 28 degrees, I was thinking slow, everything, exactly like Pete just said. But because you had experienced that before, you knew that the water temperature was still 60 or 58, 59, 60. And you said, well, it don't necessarily have to be wintertime fishing. And that is a great tie-in for anybody that's listening, watching. Pay attention to that, because having your body adapted to those kind of conditions are going to allow you to think more clearly in those situations because you've dealt with it before. And that's the beauty of putting yourself into those adverse situations before you get to the biggest tournament of the year. So
yeah, 100%. And if it tells you anything at first, we got there, it's pouring rain because we missed a day of practice because I was getting my boat rigged up. So we get there and it's flooding rain, it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
We dump in. First bait I picked up, I went skipping docks with a buzz bait.
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about right there.
It's just something that was like, the water's falling. You got some shallow docks with only 2 floats sticking in the water. She's only got 2 spots to go. And we did it for a couple hours and caught a couple small ones and just never caught the big ones doing it. And it might have been because it got cold. Because I think if it was still warm, we could have weighed in a mega bag on a buzz bait. I really do.
Yep. But that's it in a nutshell right there.
I saw it, Fisher. I saw it on the second day of the tournament down there, and I couldn't trigger them. But I was bumping those docks, and I was pushing 4-pounders out from under pontoons that had 2 inches of water underneath of them, and they were shallow as you could possibly be. But hard to catch.
I mean, it was crazy. There were some that I seen that was like so shallow. I'm like, dang, there's her back, like sticking out of the water. I can see her. And we have one. She's up on this bank swimming, and I'm out there scoping around, and we're 20 yards, 30 yards from the bank. And my dad bumps me. He's like, 5-pounder on your left. Don't move too much. And I look over there, and she's just swimming down the bank. I mean, she ain't this deep.
Whoa.
I take my Nico and throw out there, and I land it about 30 foot in front of her, and I'm just letting it sit. Because I knew if I landed close to her, she's going to spook. So I land it way out in front of her, and I'm letting it sit there, and she swims by it. And when she gets about 2 foot from it, I hop it up in there, and as soon as I hopped it, she swam over and ate it. And I reeled down and pulled, and she had my line around a rock or something and broke me off as soon as I pulled on her.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me.
That's
and
an awesome that's an awesome one, though, because that's a unique one to the Bassmaster Team Championship. That's team tournament fishing in a nutshell right there. That
100%. And I sight fish one later that week in the normal just by myself when I'm sitting up there fishing, and I had a marshal sitting there, and I actually sight fished two. I lost one of them. I'm sitting there, and I'm going in this pocket, and I look up behind this dock, and she's laying there, and I look up there, I see her. I tell the boy, I'm like, hey, if you'll get up super slow, you're gonna watch the coolest thing in your life. He's like, all right. He creeps up and he looks back there. He's like, how big is she? I'm like, depends on if she's fat or if she's skinny.
Right.
I flicked my Nico up on the corner of the dock, and it went down, and all I could see was her nose peeking out on my Nico. And I see her, she go down there, roll sideways, and go under the dock. Pulled on her, caught her as a 4.5-pound largemouth.
Nice.
It's just like, you had to stay on your toes in that tournament because you would overlook a ton because you couldn't see them on scope. That's how shallow they was. And it wasn't an everyday thing. I caught like 2 fish in 4 days doing it. Should have caught 3, but it was one of those deals when I did see one, it was a big one.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it is a unique format, right? It's a team tournament, but you qualify the top 5 split off into individuals. And so what happened? Did you like drain your dad's gas tank in his boat or flatten his tires? What did you do to prepare to put the beat down on your dad?
I'm surprised he even fished 2 days. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I mean, we showed up. He actually used a buddy of ours' boat, dumped in. He's behind me. He's like, I'm not going nowhere. He said, I didn't even put gas in this boat. I'm just gonna sit right here at the ramp, fish around till y'all get back. And when I was run back in, I'd honk the horn at him every time. And he's like, well, time to go in. He's got him. And he would ride in, and he's like, he didn't care to catch him. He was like, the only reason I'm fishing today is if you don't catch them and I do catch them, I would rather be the one to win it, not some other person. That's what I told him. I was like, you need to go try to catch them. I mean, like, all else fails, you catch 24 and you're beating me. Who cares if you end up making the classic? I mean, good for you. I'd rather it be one of us.
Right.
But he wouldn't do it. He said, I'm not doing it.
Yep. I being in that same spot, I was fishing with my son, and if we had made it and to the finals, I would have done like your dad did. And I can't imagine being in that spot, and it's awesome that you were in that spot. And not only were you two guys in that spot together, but you made the classic. So that's an amazing scenario. You grew up with your, fishing with your dad. Goob was telling me like, your dad's fished a lot with Swindle. Did you have an exposure to like Jordan Lee or Swindle? Did you get around those guys? Did you get to fish with those guys when you were growing up?
100%. I've never fished with Jordan. Me and Jordan's fairly close. I've just never fished with him. I fished with that sucker. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. And it's probably not the best thing, but it is what it is. I mean, it's nice. There was one time I went to sleep. I was probably 12. Slept in his house. Someone gonna put a pack of Marlboro Reds in my jacket, and I went home. My mom found them. She about killed me.
That's awesome.
Nah, it's definitely having the guys around here that's pro and like they've been around the world enough to know this is like this is the deal. So most of the time I'll call them for a tournament. Hey, where's the best place to stay that I'm not going to get robbed, anything like that. So it honestly
Yeah.
helps having those relationships. And it's not just for fishing advice or anything. It's for anything. I mean, where to stay at, what's the best route to get there, all that other stuff. But
Mm.
I've never fished with Jordan, talked to Jordan a ton. I mean, he always, me and him give each other a hard time. I mean, we got a record. I think he's beat me one time, and I think I beat him 5 or 6. So it's pretty
Mm.
nice. I told him, I said, Jordan, we got to start putting some money on the line.
No kidding. That few people have that record against that guy.
It's I
He-
I don't even remember what started it. I was in probably the ninth grade, and I fished my first BFL, and I had like 22 pounds with an 8-pounder or something. And he come up to me, he's like, "Boy, you got lucky. I didn't catch mine, or I'd have whooped you." And I was like, "All right, I like where you're going with it." And then ever since then, we gave each other a hard time.
That's cool. I like Jordan. Jordan's on Bass University TV, and so is Gerald. Gerald's got a lot of our most popular training seminars. He's one of the best, obviously, and but he talks. He's positive. His PMA seminars are at the top of the list, and you kind of alluded to that, man. When you on the last day, you went through your best juice, and you're coming up empty. Um, Man, that mental part of this game is really really hard to overcome. And Gerald teaches about it, but you pulled it off that last day. That mental toughness, how important is that to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's something he's taught me since I was very, very young. I mean, the first time I ever went fishing with him, he's like, you got to get your mind right, because if your mind's not
Mhm.
right, you're going to fish tense and you're not going to catch them. He said, you can try all you want to try to catch them, and you can be tense and you can be casting like hard as you can. He said, by lunchtime, you done wore yourself out and you're not worth a dang no more. He's
Yeah.
like, you need to fish loose. You need to just PMA. If one comes off, he said, I've said some things that the good Lord's probably not going to forgive me for, but he's like, you got to keep going. And I'm like, all right. So, I mean, it's honestly helped a ton, because there's been so many tournaments this year on the opens, like Okeechobee, for instance. I caught 5 bass the first day, 4 bass the second day, 6 bass the third day.
Wow.
And when you're in a tournament of that caliber, and you know, like, I've got to catch enough to stay in this EQ hunt, and so I can make my dreams become reality. So the whole time that's in your mind and you're freaking yourself out, like, I'm not gonna lie, I freaked myself out the second day about lunchtime, and it was probably 12 o'clock. I was doing it 3 and I had 2 bass. And I'm like scratching my head and I'm kind of freaking myself out a little bit. And I run out and fish these reeds. And for whatever reason, I ain't fished reeds the whole time I was there, but I was gonna go flip some reeds. And I run out there and I'm flipping reeds. And I just got this weary feeling. Go back in that canal and go back a little farther. Just go look at it. And I run in there, I idle past where I caught all my fish at. As soon as I put the trolling motor down, I caught one that was almost 7.
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
like, you always got to go on that gut feeling, and you can't spin yourself out. Like, that's the biggest thing, is the mental side of this thing. Is somebody can be a really good angler, they can be one of the best in the country, but if their mental side of the game isn't right and they spin themselves out, you'll notice they'll be super inconsistent. They find the fish, but they just spin themselves out when they don't bite for them.
Spinning out is a bad deal, and you got to get back quick. What do you do? Do you breathe deep? Do you have a method that you use to get your head back in the game? Like when you lose a big one, what do you do to get your head back in it?
Man, I mean, back when I was younger, I was the world's worst. If I lost a big one, I would have a come apart. I mean, break rod, like, it was bad. And it's always got to the point now. I mean, it stings, it sucks, because it's like, that one might have done it. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the best in the world at it's Kevin Van Dam. If you've ever watched Kevin Van Dam lose a fish, he stands right back up, makes another cast, and don't talk about it. That's what I've got to the point where I'm like, that's what I need to do, because that's going to move you on past it. If you jump her off, you might as well stand up and cast again, because she ain't going to bite again. You got to catch another one.
Yes. Yep.
So I don't know. I've just kind of grown apart from not spinning out and freaking myself out when I lose one. I just kind of got to where the point where I'm like, just stay calm. If you freak yourself out, it's just gonna make it worse.
It will. It'll tighten you right up. Just like Gerald says, it'll tighten you up and you start making bad decisions and you start, you're not casting free and you're not fishing open, you
That's
can't have that. You got to be
yeah.
open. You got to keep practicing and keep thinking.
Especially against a group of guys that like you fish against in these tournaments nowadays, dude. I mean, there's a bunch of them like they're gonna catch them. You know they're gonna catch them. So if you think you need 15 pounds, like your practice, you caught 15 pounds a day, you might as well go ahead and catch 17 because that's what you're gonna need.
That's right. Aim high. A lot of people do that. Like they'll aim for the cut line, and I found it's helpful. Man, you got like the bottom cut line, the check cut line, and that's always been a recipe for disaster mentally. It's like you got to aim to win that tournament, and then you find yourself in the money. Versus the other way around.
That's something like I was talking to G about it going to Okeechobee. I was like, I'm just gonna shoot for a mediocre finish. I just want to finish in that top 40, so I make the cut. And he told me, he was like, why would you do that after a year you've had? He's like, you have made no wrong hardly. He's like, you got a shot at winning AOY. He said, go win the dang thing. Go fish how Fisher wants to fish and go win. And I promise it'll help you in the long run. And that's what I did. I mean, if I fished in a canal, I knew if I caught 5 bass out of it, I could have a big bag. And I fished for 5 fish all week. And do I wish I had an area that I could go catch a limit out of some of the days? Yes, because I think it could have made me fish better. But also, if I'd have had that, I don't think I would have stayed in that one area as long as I did because it took all day.
That lake was tough. That was super tough.
Very.
The conditions that you guys were facing.
It was definitely probably the toughest tournament of the year. I'm not going to lie to you on that. I mean, mentally and everything, because practice you would show up and it's blowing 60 and the reeds are laying over. I mean, I lost my hat. It blew over the reeds. I've never seen that hat again. I almost got hit by an airboat. I mean, like, it was probably one of the worst practices of my life. And that day I lost all that. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had a little mental come apart. I was mad at the world and I drove back, took my boat out. Then I was driving to another ramp. And I drive over this canal and I see a boat ramp and I'm like, dang, this canal looks really good. I ain't fished it yet. I'm gonna turn around and made a U-turn and drove back and put in at the boat ramp. When I dumped my boat in, I put my trolling motor down. Soon as I put my trolling motor down on the side of the ramp, I caught one. It was almost 8. I went to the other side of the ramp, caught a 7. Went to the dock, caught another 7.
Holy smokes.
And I was like, why did I get this feeling to come back and look at this? I have no idea. But I did. I got a weird gut feeling like, you better turn around and look at that. That just looked good to your eye. You better look at it. And I went and did it. And lo and behold, that's where I caught all my weight at. But I think the fish were trying to spawn in practice because it was still warm. And then when the cold front hit, it kind of knocked them upside the head and it caused them to move out and get on like the bridge columns that I caught some off of, or these metal poles because they were just holding heat.
Okay.
Something like that.
I guess the moral of that story is if you almost get run over by an airboat, you got to pull out and find another boat launch.
Oh yeah, that's the main thing. Dude, that airboat, I'm telling you, he back got me. Like
What happened?
There was a little like dog lane in these reeds, and I'm looking on my Google Earth and I see this big hole back there, and I'm like, I'm going back there. It looks like good speed worm area. So I'm running and I go through this little chute. I can do this and hit reeds on both sides of the boat. I run in there and it banks hard left and hard right. Well, when I bank left, here he come.
Oh,
and it's like we're like this, and I was like, well, he ain't moving, so I just jerked over and I went through the reeds, and I should have stayed on pad and just popped out in that little hole, but kind of freaked me out, and I let out of it, and there I was stuck like Chuck. I mean, there wasn't nothing. I had to get my rod and push me back into the little canal and turn around. And then I had to idle like a mile out because I couldn't get back on pad in there. It sucked. It was horrible. Then my hat blew off when I stood up. I was like, oh my God.
And then you pulled out and found the juice.
I pulled out and found all the fish that I caught in the tournament on one stretch. And I'm like, I don't get it. I really don't.
This is completely unrelated, but did you have Jake in the boat with you for that whole tournament?
Oh, yeah. He's
That's
the
a good guy
man.
to have in the boat with you if things aren't going right.
I like Jake. That was the first time I met him, and he was super cool.
Yeah, he's I like that they do that. That you know, they put Jake in the boat with you because you're leading the deal. You know what I mean? And you're
Right.
having a really good year, and it's just cool to see. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
Good,
I
good
like
guy.
how they don't change them up. Like that's something
Yep,
I'm glad they did. Is like if they changed it up, you got to get in there with a new guy each day. And a lot of people don't understand, dude. Like you get a vibe off somebody. If you change it up and you get somebody with a bad vibe, you're not gonna fish nearly as good.
for sure. And the other element to it is that I know this from just working for Bass U. We do a lot of camera work. It's kind of involved what they have to do. It's not just exactly plug and play. So like everybody has their own system. You guys figure out how you're going to work together over the course of time and doing it, and that's good. I'm glad that they kept it consistent for you throughout that. And yeah. But side note,
Yeah.
shout out Jake Latondras. He's done some stuff with us at Bass U for camera work. Great guy. We're big fans.
Oh yeah,
One of the
he's
best.
good as gold. I'm chomping.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get this dang first Elite Series going. I'm chomping at the bits to get this thing started.
The new Elite schedule is 50-50, where you got to turn that box off. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I like every bit of it.
What
And
are you most excited about?
Gunnersville, really. I mean, that's the one I'm most excited for because with scope, it's anybody's ball game. I mean, that's how it is. It's whoever's going to go out there and catch 33 instead of 30 a day is going to win. And when
Right.
it comes to like what we're going to have to do now, it's going to be shallow water. I mean, I know what I'm going to do, and it's what I've done from high school. I mean, it's how I caught every one of my bass from that in that time span since I was in 7th grade all the way up till now. Like it's what I do. I mean, even when a Toyota comes that time of year, I'm like, hell, I can't pass up shallow trapping. I mean, it's so fun. That's one of those deals. I understand when someone says like a guy that's had history on a place and he's like, well, usually this time of year, this is what they're doing, and that's in the back of his mind, so it's hard for him to go scope out in the middle.
Right.
And I can see that with that being me in a trap in that time of year because it's every time I'm scoping, it's in the back of my mind, dude. I can go catch trap fish, have 24 with a breeze.
Right.
And it's actually drawn me in the last 2 Toyotas we've had there that time of year because scope and bite was kind of they were tough to catch. And I just went through a trap. I'm like, I'm gonna go through a trap and see what happens. And I'd catch 80 fish a day, 90 fish a day on a trap and have 21 to 23 pounds. And I wasn't gonna win doing it. I knew I wasn't gonna win doing it, but I had fun. And my co-anglers loved it. Like they've never seen nothing like it. They were like, this is amazing. Like, why are they here? And I was like, well, the only reason they're here is it's, you got a bluebird sky, sunny day, and their shell up there behind the grass. They're just up there sunning. And it's the same. Yep, and it's the same thing as like catching floaters when it's sunny. If you notice, the best days to catch floaters, it's sunny. It gets them up. They can sun that time of year. It warms them up. Same thing goes for grass fishing. They just move up super shallow, get on shale, and they warm themselves up.
Nice. So Gunnersville and Lipless is going to be a big one for you. Are you spending a lot of time in the off season? Are you going to scout the waters as much as you can, or what's your plan?
I thought about it. I'm gonna ride the chick tomorrow and fish around, and then I'll probably end up spending the next few days on Gunnersville, just idling around because I mean, right now the bite's not going to be crazy good. It's too early for it. You'll catch a couple, but like I'm going to idle around and just basically use my side scan and find all the holes in the grass I can find anywhere from, because that time of year can be different by the weather. It could be 8-foot deep holes, 10-foot deep holes, or it could be 2-foot deep holes. You don't really know. And each day it's going to change. If it's sunny, they're going to pick the shallow ones. If it's cloudy, they're going to stay in the deeper ones. And you have to change like sizes of traps too. Like I'll probably show up to that tournament with a 1/4 ounce trap, a 3/8 ounce chatterbait, a 1/2 ounce chatterbait, and a 1/2 ounce trap. That's all I'm gonna have on my front deck.
Nice.
And you just kind of vary it on each spot. But when you do land on them, it can be nasty quick. Like I won a high school tournament in one drain in 2 foot of water, and I caught 40 bass over 5 pounds.
Holy
Hold down.
smokes. Wow.
And when you land on them, it can be nasty, but the problem is now you catch a bunch of fish doing it. It's just really hard to catch those 6+ pounders that like someone can catch scoping, because it's like they're not there. I mean, you can catch a bunch of 3 to 4 pounders and you can have 20 pounds, but you weigh in 21, you're in 21st place, and you're like, well, I thought I had a good day.
Right. All right. Well, it's going to be that way for you this time around. So that's cool. Quarter ounce trap. That's pretty cool. You don't hear too many guys throwing that quarter ounce. That's a sneaky little bait. Look at that's cool.
That's probably my favorite bait on planet Earth, and it's something I've learned since I was a little kid, and that's quarter ounce Excalibur trap, Rayburn Red. That's what it's going to be.
Nice. That's awesome. I know it's a staple in my boat too, and I just don't see a lot of guys throwing it. And there's times when the quarter's the deal. A lot of times it's the 3/4 that can be the deal, but that's pretty cool. You got a little you're keeping that quarter ounce alive for us, Fisher. Thank you.
It's going to be alive and well. I mean, if I ain't got scope, that's going to be on my front deck. If it's a shad color one or a crawl color one, and like gunners, where you kind of got to throw the quarter, because most of the time the grass and you hang it up with a half and it'll work you to death. So you got to throw the quarter and you can really slow it down. And I mean, a lot of people think you got to reel a trap and rip the fire out of it and jerk it and pop it. And I mean, I'll take my trap and just crawl it like this, just right over the grass and pull it through the grass. And it's game over when you find them.
Nice. Well, I think you're going to find them. What about the Classic? I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, making the Bassmaster Classic, that's life-changing. It's life-changing to make it. It's definitely life-changing to win it. So what are your thoughts 100%. On the Classic this year?
Man, I've never stepped foot on that place. I have no idea what to expect. So I'm just kind of going to go fish and see what happens. And I've already made it in my mind, like, yeah, winning it would be great. And that would be awesome, but I'm not going to get too caught up and freak myself out about trying to win it. I mean, I'm living my dream. This is something I've dreamed of since I was a 5-year-old kid. So it's like, I'm going to go up there and fish. And if I zero, I'm going to walk across that stage with a smile on my face, because I made my dream happen. Even though if I don't catch them that first year, it might be 20 years from now until I catch them in the Classic. And it might be the only Classic I ever fish. So you might as well enjoy it and don't freak yourself out even if you don't catch them.
It's a great mental attitude. And Brian Kirchhoff did it. He zeroed on his first Classic, but then won his second Classic. And I'm not, it could go any of those ways, but I got a feeling that, you're going to be a contender. The smallmouther factor in that tournament, it seems like those smallmouth that are stuck to the bottom have won that tournament there, because that's in Knoxville, right? You're going to be at Tellico Loudon?
Yes, sir. I think so. I think it's off limits for us to talk about it, but I'm not certain on that.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'm just talking about what's already been televised and what we've seen Gussie do down there. So, I wish you all the best. I think you're going to feel right at home there once you get your boat on the water.
Hey, I got a game plan for it. I'm going to try to target largemouth. I'm going to try to catch all the largemouth. I'm not going to go for, I'm going to go for smallmouth, but they've been televised so much, dude. Out of those 50 guys or whatever that's fishing it, so many guys are going to beat them smallmouth to death. So I'm like, if I can find a largemouth pattern to catch a decent bag each day on largemouth, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah. Plus, that 18-inch limit on smallies, man, talk about a mentally challenging you catching those 17s and having to throw them back. That's heartbreaking.
Oh, it's bad. And chick, is it 18 on chick or 17 on chick?
I think it's 18 on chick too, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's 18. I had a tournament there. I was catching them offshore early. I had 27 the first day, and I was in second. And I went to start on my school, and a boat started on it. And I was like, all right, I'll just go. I'm going to go sight fishing, because there was still some on bed. I roll in here, and I was catching them on a popper and pull into this pocket, and I catch, I think I had 11 pounds on a popper pretty quick. And I knew I had this one big one on bed. She was like 8 foot, so you couldn't hardly see her. You had to get right over the top of her to see her. And I'm flipping on her bed, and I can see her down there spinning on it. And I'm like, and it's a 5-pounder. If I catch it, I'm golden. So I worked this fish. I worked this fish for 2.5 hours, and it was a 17 3/4, 5-pound smallmouth, and I had to throw it back.
Oh my gosh.
You talking about
That's
sick?
crazy.
I was
Mm.
sick. And dude, I had them all down that bank found. And as I went down through there, I realized I was like, these are all smallmouth, and ain't none of them gonna keep. They're all 4-pounders.
Oh wow. Wow.
And had to roll out and leave them. I mean, that right there, I was like, you idiot. Why would I work that fish for 3 hours? But I mean, if it would have measured, it'd have been worth it.
Yeah, until you don't know until you know. And you know, I've heard worse. I've heard guys sit on a fish for 3 hours and they finally get them to go and they pull it up and it's a 3-pound crappie.
I've done that before too.
That's
Smith is the
crazy.
world's worst about it. You pull up to a dock, and you'd be looking under there, and you see her down there, and she's like 12 foot. I'm like, that's a 3-pounder. And on Smith, 3-pounder's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You'll work that thing in a bit for it. You'll jerk and come back with lips. I'm like, son of a gun.
Come back
man.
with lips.
That's awesome. Well, shoot. I wanted to ask you this because I saw, and shout out to your dad, Ryan, who did a great job educating and growing you up and teaching you this game. It shows a lot, and you're taking it far. But I saw you were getting a fresh boat wrap put on. It looks like you've had some sponsorship success going into the elites. That's a big part of this game. How has that been? How have the sponsors been treating you?
Awesome. Like, I mean, it's something that Gerald and my dad's preached to me since I was just started fishing. They were like, you need to have social media and you need to get sponsors. That's the two major things. If you go fishing in a tournament and you're worried about, I ain't got no money, you're not going to catch them. Geez, like, I want you to show up and have enough sponsorship money each year. If you don't make a check, who gives a damn? You got enough money to live off of. And that's something that I've been working on since I was, 7th grade. And I was blessed enough to have Rapala put a lot of trust in me since I was, I think I was in the 8th or 9th, 10th grade. Might have been a little older than that. But someone that's that big of a company sees something in you and puts trust in you. That's someone I think I can be with till I retire.
Awesome.
And you just pick up, it's crazy. Like, you'll meet some guys off social media. Like, one of my biggest sponsors reached out on social media, TikTok. He's like, hey kid, you look like you're super well mannered, super good kid. I love the way you hold yourself. I own a bunch of businesses. I want to sponsor you. And lo and behold, now, that's probably my biggest paying sponsor is someone I met off TikTok, and he's the nicest guy you ever met in your life.
Wow. Good for you. That's great. And you need, and G is right. G's been giving you some great advice as you're saying it back to us. And it's really, really shows. And want to wish you good luck, man. Here we go, heading out to the elites and the Bassmaster Classic. I'm excited for you, Fisher. I think it's going to be a great year. I'm excited to watch and root for you.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's I'm ready to get it going. I hate the off season. I like being busy. When I'm not busy, I think too much. So I'd rather be busy and not think at all.
I can appreciate that, and I wish you the best of luck. I appreciate you, coming on to Bass University and hanging out with us and telling us the story. I appreciate you rubbing it in on Lake Hartwell, showing us how we did so poor, how we missed the boat, Rich. But no, that was really awesome and enlightening to us because we talked about it last week, and it was a treat to be able to see the patterns, how they actually developed right in front of you. And
Yes,
I
sir.
love how you fish open and you fish free. That's going to be such a huge asset for you in all the pressures that are coming in the elites. So congratulations again for making it, man. And hope you have happy holidays, and thanks for being on the show.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity and getting me on here and everything like that.
Well, good luck this year, and we'll catch up with you real soon. I look forward to having you back on after you get a big W at one of these events this year.
I'll do it. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Fisher.
Fisher, Anaya, everybody, thank you so much for being with us. Riz, what a deal. Humminbird 360.
Yeah.
Coming out again, winning another major tournament and playing big factors in some major wins. You got to love that 360.
For sure. Yeah, there's it's so cool how there's all these little intricacies to not only fishing, but forward facing sonar, and so many different ways you can utilize it. It just opens your eyes to so many different things. And it's cool to unpack how, things went down at Hartwell. It's always nice to talk to, somebody that had a strong finish in an event that you were also competing in. It helps put those pieces of the puzzle together. This was a good one, man. I'm not going to lie. This was a good show. There were some really good aha moments, some light bulb moments, at least for me. I hope for our viewers too. One of my biggest takeaways, honestly, was how powerful it can be to trusting your gut and throwing at habitat you see, even though you don't necessarily see a fish. And, I've seen it so many times. We see it on smallmouth. We see it on other pieces of habitat, but it's just another piece of the puzzle that you have to add into the percentage game that you're thinking about when you're using that tool. And it's cool to see, a young angler like Fisher really putting it to work and having some great success with it and sharing it with us. So hopefully it helps some of our audience as well.
Certainly great to have them on. Redfin. We talked about this last week. Redfin sunglasses, an amazing weapon, amazing holiday Christmas gift, as well as thump gel, which we love. You guys got to give this a go. It's the time of year, especially that scent's most important. But all times of year, you want to go check this stuff out. And if you're you want a big gift, I'm telling you right now that Humminbird 360. If your fisherman doesn't have it, it's an amazing tool that works so well in conjunction with forward-facing sonar. And the new Humminbird Explorer units are fantastic with the Humminbird 360. So you want to go get all that stuff.
Yep.
Riz, we're going to do a commercial break.
Yeah, let's hit the quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with the sub of the week, talk about what we're doing at Bass U, talk some about the seminars, and then we'll close this thing down. So give me a second. Let me find a commercial. Here we go. Commercial break.
We're off the clock to clock more fish, to fill our live wells and empty our coolers, because there's more to explore. The latest Humminbird fish finders work fast, see clearly, and know all the best spots. They fish even smarter paired with the Minn Kota and break down the water like never before. If you like your plans loose and lines tight, then it's time to explore. Only with Humminbird. Get right to the fight. New Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar puts you on more fish with an ultra-clear, rock-solid picture of underwater action. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
The original Element rods were really Cashin's first launch, kind of in a price point level. With that, we got a lot of feedback.
And that's what brought about the Element Z2 and its launch. The most affordable American-made rod on the market.
When the sun's up and the bite's on, clarity is everything. That's why serious anglers trust Redfin. Built for the water, designed for performance. Lightweight frames, crystal clear optics, and rugged durability that stands up to long days on the water. Thanks to Zeiss Repel technology, water, oil, and even sunscreen just slides right off the lenses. Your vision stays crystal clear. See more, fish smarter, and protect your eyes with Redfin. Redfin polarized sunglasses. Comfort, clarity, contrast.
Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry. and where the fish are worth the fight. Because the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Welcome back, guys. The Bass U 2.0. It's available right now. Have you downloaded the new apps on the Apple Store or Android or Roku? You guys everybody's watching on Roku. Are you watching on that now? Guys, go download all that. The new Bass U 2.0. You're going to love it. Everybody is giving us some amazing feedback. And being a member gets you member benefits, one of which is cash and fishing rods. And that new Element series is an amazing rod with an amazing price point. It's American made. It has an unmatched warranty, and the performance is really strong. You're going to love them. Makes amazing Christmas gifts. So especially if you're a subscriber, get over there and you can get some amazing deals on cash and fishing rods. So you want to go check that out. Shout out to Howie Range. I saw several of our guys watching live. So good to have you. Good to have you with us, Howie, and all the rest. And
we got Chuck Fish, Dave Stintsman, Kyle Osborne, Adrian Ruiz watching all the way from in Mexico. That's awesome. Frank Walder, Lenny Widener, Thump Gel is on the board as well. Said congratulations to Fisher, Scott Van Leer, Timothy Gallagher, Jonathan Collins. We appreciate all you guys. I'm sure Coach Prince and everybody else is watching. So thank you for tuning in. Our sub of the week this week is a guy a lot of us might know, John Cruz, and here he is with a message.
Are you ready to take your bass fishing knowledge to the next level this coming year? Well, join me and some other fantastic seminar speakers in Anderson, South Carolina this year, January 17th and 18th. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's over 2 days. I'm going to be speaking one of the days. You can go to bassu.tv, find out more information, and you can sign up right there. There's some discounts going around, so look out for those. I'm going to be doing 2 seminars during this. I'm going to be doing one on decoding bass behavior. A lot of information has been learned over the last couple years with forward-facing sonar on bass behavior. We're going to talk a lot about that, and we're going to give you lots of tips and tricks for the old flipping technique. One of my favorite techniques. Flipping catches big bass and does it everywhere. So stay tuned and sign up.
Awesome.
Professor Cruz. That was our sub of the week.
He is a great sub of the week, and decoding bass behavior. I thought I saw a bottle of bourbon on the shelf back there. Maybe that helps him decode the behavior of bass.
Could be.
I'm not sure that was I'm not sure that was a bottle of bourbon, but it looked like
the bourbon helps us decode our behavior after we don't understand the bass behavior. That's generally how that goes. And guys, stay tuned. This week's release on Bass University is Brian New, Untangling Herring Fisheries. We're going to help solve the problem of how to catch bass on these fisheries that are just flooded with blueback herring. That's a good one. Brian New lives on Lake Murray. He spends a lot of time chasing those suckers. So that's going to be a great seminar. And don't forget, we're not only going to be in Anderson, South Carolina, we're also going to be in Athens, Texas on January 10th and the 11th with some great instructors there as well. So whether you're in Texas, South Carolina, somewhere in between, come see us, come to the classroom. It's a great time.
Come on, hang out with us. It makes a great holiday gift, and a lot of these tickets wind up in Christmas cards under the tree. So we're glad to have that, and we look forward to seeing all you guys and new faces and some old faces. It's always a great time. So John Cruz, I just wanted to mention this. I saw him talking about the schedule that came out with the scope, non-scope, and he's excited about it. And he did a post where he was talking about the change. He's been such a long time veteran out there, 20 years on tour or more, and being able to strategize for the scope, non-scope tournament has got him fired up. Like, all right, I'm going to fish this tournament this way. I'm going to fish this tournament this way. two completely different attacks. You know, it's really going to showcase anglers' versatility this year in that regard. So it'll be interesting to see. But John's excited about it, so that was fun to see.
Yep, it's going to be exciting to watch for sure.
Yep. Sure enough. And we are talking about, and we don't know, guys, what are you fishing this year? Me and Riz are talking about maybe doing the BFLs this year, and we might take those on, which I haven't done for a while. And I was thinking of doing that with Jake and as a co and having fun doing that. But we'll look forward to seeing you guys out on the water. But in the meantime, we're going to be back next week with another Bass University Live. I hope your holidays prep is going well. And, we're about to get started on wrestling season over here, and it's a nice way to get through the winter till that ice breaks. Because as soon as that ice breaks, man, we're going back out on the water. Can't wait for that. So enjoy it. If you have open water this time of year, get out there and enjoy it. Check out the Brian New seminar on, especially if you're in a blueback herring place, which we've spent a lot of time at, and we are going to be in South Carolina. You know, go check that out. This release this week. And thanks for being with us, guys. And we will see you next week at Bass University Live.